I'd like to call the City Council meeting to order. First, if we could rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Move to roll call. Scott Murray. Here. Tyler Fullenkamp. Here. Jenny Bauer-Schultz. Here. Abby Wilder. Here. What's next? Minutes. The minutes were emailed out from the previous meeting. Any additions or corrections?
Make a motion to accept them as emailed.
Second.
Second, Abby. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very well. On occasion, we get guests that come before City Council. Is there anything you'd like to present to us or speak before us? I'm talking about you, yes. If you would, please come up front. If you would, tell us your name and why you'd like to talk to us tonight.
Sure. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Should I sit down or?
Doesn't matter. Yeah, you can sit.
Whatever makes you happy.
Make comfortable.
My name is Allison Brademeyer, and I work for a company and own a company called Fox Site Acquisition. We have been contracted out by Horvath Communication, a tower developer based in Indiana, to identify some potential pieces of land to put a cellular tower on. They are partnering with Verizon to build out part of their network. Verizon was very specific on this site, and they narrowed it down to just a few parcels of property, and the city of Decatur happens to own one of them. So as a courtesy, I typically, when we run into a situation like that, I like to ask the city first if they have any interest in potentially giving Horvath a perpetual easement on one of the parcels before I go to the neighbor and ask. So that is why I'm here today. I have maps and I have a starting dollar amount. I don't know what questions you have for me, but...
Well,
I think where?
Okay, I didn't know what you
Sure.
knew. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's start with. I know you're here. That's as much as I know.
Okay. Well, I've been talking to people in planning and zoning, so I wasn't sure how much was shared with you. It's on Fred-ish Drive, and there is a piece of agricultural land that looks like it's divided into 5 different parcels. Mm-hmm. It's sitting vacant right now. I wasn't able to find any future plans for the property. You might have plans for it, I don't know. But we had identified that, and then there's the Prime Decatur Clean across the street there. And then I think that there is a mobile home factory there on the corner that we've also identified, but I have not talked to them yet. I wanted to do this first.
so I'm serving tonight as Mayor Pro Tem, but I'm one of the City Council members as well. Thank you for coming before us.
Yes.
We've considered that land, to my knowledge, as shovel-ready property for future expansion. So what that future expansion is could be anything. So I'm willing to hear or look at any potential development of that, be it something you're wanting to do or others. So if you have any other info that you brought, like a map, being new to all of us, I think we're pretty premature in saying...
I know that I'm much more. Okay, so here's a map that I just brought with the, it's just an aerial view of the land.
So you're thinking here?
And not necessarily that spot, that exact pinpoint,
Somewhere there.
but somewhere on the property. We would need
the largest parcel out in Industrial Park, and it would definitely impact, that's like about a 26-acre lot. It's right smack in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's council's decision, but that is probably the largest lot in the newest segment of industrial park. So.
And we would need approximately 100 by 100 feet. We could most likely go out with less than that, but that is it's a good base to get started with. Would be 100 by 100 feet.
What are the guidelines as far as you need a 100 by 100 spot, and then are there some type of guidelines that say no other structure or building or anything could be within X amount of feet from there, or?
No, there isn't.
There's nothing?
Right. The tower is designed to fall within that 100 by 100 feet. So it wouldn't be a risk of falling on another structure or anything like that. I checked with the zoning director about ordinances, and it didn't appear that there were any stating that it wouldn't be permitted or wouldn't be that I would need a variance or anything like that.
Do you have to have easement to get to the tower too, or?
We would need access to it, definitely. So I would recommend going on the edge of the property so that we didn't have to have a long access road.
There's currently cell phone towers indicated.
There are, that is correct.
So this isn't something that could be added on to those. It has to be a new.
When we get the sites, we do what's called a scrub, and we put every potential co-location available indicator. Verizon is telling us that none of those will work for various reasons.
I mean, future development of communications is great. Where it's developed, just thinking out loud, asking questions that I can think of.
You're fine.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to me when you see towers that are sitting empty and the carrier is saying it doesn't work. So it is interesting that when they send out their RF engineering package, they list all of the towers in the area that they've already looked at, and then we also provide ones that we've scrubbed, showing that there appears to be available lease space on it. This specific site, they're trying to service a large gap on the south side of the town near US 2733 corridor over by the Walmart. So that's the area that they're really trying to focus on with this site.
Okay. Any other questions?
When you do this, do you buy the property? Is it a lease with the city?
So what I am here offering today is a perpetual easement, so an easement that would go on until the tower's gone. And we would have an option fee that we would give you upon signing the lease, which is just a small amount for attorney fees and signing, $500, and then a one-time payment of $120,000 for that 100 by 100 piece of property, plus, like you were saying, an access road.
Okay. Well, personally, I would like to table that offer.
Of course. I'm not
bring in
yes,
Colton Bickle with economic development. What is his opinion on that ground and future development? Bring back the mayor. I would certainly want his opinion. But we're not we don't want this kind of city. We look at where does this fit, or would this fit, and how does this look for our city?
I would also be interested in knowing the companies that are around that area, what their input is on that as well.
Champion Home,
Prime,
Walmart.
Do you mean if they would be interested in having it on their property or be opposed to it being next to their property?
Yes, the latter.
Okay.
Both.
Okay, so you would like me to open it up and start discussing with them?
If it's going to be right next to them, I think their input would be important.
Are you asking
But I think
to
she's
see if
asking.
there's permission to see if it's okay to put it there, or you're asking if you could go to Walmart and say, can I put this out in front of your building?
I wouldn't go with Walmart. That's just,
Let's just say it's
Um,
building X.
yes, okay. I would,
Prefer to have your own land?
well, no, honestly, the land between your land and their land, it would be the same for us. I mean, they're right next to each other. For me, just if the city's going to have it right next to their property, I feel it's like in good faith to ask if you want the payment. So I don't know if I would necessarily want to go to them and ask their opinion on it if I'm not offering them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess just more their opinion of how they would feel with it being next to them.
Absolutely. And typically we do have to notify landowners in the surrounding areas before anything gets done, where they have an option to remonstrate. And again, in good faith, I like to reach out and see, kind of get a feel for.
So this is something I'm assuming is being done in other areas across Indiana too, to move, to grow Verizon's network.
Yeah.
This isn't just a Decatur project. This is
No,
growing
right
infrastructure.
Now I'm working on 12 search rings, and then we also own JD Towers. So I have a business where we also own the steel in the air. So I'm doing side act work for Horvath right now, but I also am on the ownership side of the tower industry as well. So yeah, it's nationwide.
Allison, can you just tell me, sometimes I know private property owners will be asked by the companies, the cell phone companies, to have a tower on their land, and I think that they get like monthly payments or yearly payments. Like, what's the difference between with that? You know, of like, I know you want to own the property one time purchase versus almost
long-term
like
lease.
yeah.
Yeah, we could possibly do a long-term lease if that would be more appetizing. I think that let me just check really quick before I.
Like I know as an example, I believe there's a tower on the KFC property that has been in a long-term lease for, I don't even know what the tower does or is, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was a benefit for the KFC to have on their property.
Have some income coming in.
There's another one behind Tritech in that area, a large tower. Again, I don't know exactly what all's on that or over here at Sprint.
When these towers are no longer being used, they're just there, and like old towers?
We have in our lease a certain amount of time that we would have to come and restore the ground back to its original state.
So there-
And I have experience doing this with JB Towers, the other company that we own, and we, took out, I think it was like 10 feet worth of concrete underneath the ground even to restore it back to its original state.
So within
So it won't sit
the
there.
easement or the agreement that you would enter into with the city, there would be a decommission plan in the event the tower was either unusable or no longer needed?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's very quick. I'd have to go back and look at their specific lease, but I mean, I think months, not years.
What were the other locations you were looking at, if not this one?
We have identified the Prime Decatur Queens and the whatever that
If you look at this map,
Champion Homes.
Champion Home, yes.
Okay.
so they're definitely looking in that area.
Yeah, this specific site, I mean, normally it's like a mile radius that we have to work with, but this one was, they specifically said they wanted something off of Fred-ish Drive, which is, I mean, you see how small that is. It's
Sure.
very,
Yeah.
narrows it down for us.
What time frame do you have on this moving forward, or
The option that we enter into upon signing gives us a 36-month period to do all of our due diligence and get all of the necessary government approvals. I would say it probably would take less than a year from the time of signing to get it up in the air.
I'm talking about like
To make a deal.
to make a deal.
Oh, to make a deal. Well, I guess how much time do you need to feel like you...
I mean, I don't think anybody's in a position to make a decision tonight, so yes, we had a couple weeks before our next meeting because the decision really can't be made until then.
Okay.
So we'd be looking at like at least 2 weeks, I guess. I don't know
Yeah,
how
I-
fast you have to move on this project.
We like to get a lease signed within 30 days of when I start looking. I think if we could get back together in 2 weeks and try to decide one way or the other so I can approach some of these other land owners if need be, I think that's fair.
I appreciate you giving us the option first. Like I said, we could maybe get 2 weeks.
Yeah, sure. I know you said that there were some people that maybe weren't here that you wanted to...
Right, the mayor and the economic development director that
Okay.
kind of guides us with any industrial growth. I would like at least their opinion on it.
Yeah, of course. I just put together some really simple little letters with just some basic information in it,
Good.
plus all of the property record cards of the parcels that, because I'm correct in thinking that piece right there is separated into several parcels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two of
Okay,
them,
okay.
two of them are owned by our redevelopment commission, and the others are owned by the city of
The
Decatur.
city, okay.
Mhm.
I'll just leave these with you then?
Yeah, great.
And then do you have a card? And I'm the city attorney. I can email you, or if you can email me with kind of the proposed terms.
On this paper, I have the proposed terms along with all of my contact info
Perfect.
and phone number, email.
Okay.
And you're out of Fort Wayne?
I am.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I made 5 copies, so...
What's the name?
Here you go. Allison. Oh. This advice to not give it to you. My counsel here.
Okay. Site. Yeah,
You could look it up, too.
we are contracted with 4 Bath Communications.
Allison, S-U-N.
My name is Allison Bredemeyer. I was going to say, is there one? It is
One-time payment is
ER.
$120.
EMBYER.
Yeah. 500 on the signing. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I was down in Florida
Right before this,
and
Kurt
Indiana.
sent me for this.
And then I do staff
This many people
I tried to. I tried to.
Know about it.
Okay, do you have any other questions of Allison? Allison, do you have any other questions of us this time?
I don't think so. Just my contact info's on there. And if you have any questions, give me a call or email me.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Thank you. I
you.
appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
Okay, next we're going to move on to, we have some final readings of ordinances. And the first is ordinance 2024-2.
Do we need anything before? I can do a quick introduction. Okay. Oh, do you need?
Turn it over to the city attorney to guide us through.
This is an ordinance that simply further defines the fee schedule within it does not change the fees. It doesn't add anything else into it. It simply clarifies what one of the building permit fees is associated with. So within Chapter 150 of our Code of Ordinances, there's a table that has the fees listed with the columns listed as permit types. And within the commercial permit, it's defining the what's included within that. So it includes the electrical, plumbing, heating, and any kind of, and they're adding in definitions that used to simply be under mechanical to include the special hazard fire suppression. And that's always been the case. It's just clarifying and identifying that. So.
Any discussion or
Any discussion before going to a final reading? No? JBS?
Okay. I move to place ordinance 2024-2 on its third reading by short title only.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance 2024-2, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Decatur, which is the table within Chapter 150, Section 150.357 of the Decatur Code of Ordinances of 2015 as supplemented.
Second. Sorry, I was thinking about the hotel.
I move to adopt ordinance 2024-2.
I'll second it now. I'll come off the
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Roll call.
Jenny Moschel.
Yes.
Matt Dyer.
Yes.
Tyler Fulenkamp.
Yes.
Scott Murray.
Yes.
Abby Wilder.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it does tonight either. Okay. Ordinance is adopted. Sign.
Oh, no, go ahead. Sign.
So there's three separate copies here.
Okay.
While we're signing those, I'd like to recognize, I think we got a member of our Mayor's Youth Council in attendance. Would you welcome back? Tell us again, remind us again who you are. All right. Welcome. Glad to have you.
Go on to the third.
While those are going around, I think we can move along to our next final reading of ordinance 2024-3. Again, our attorney will guide us through it.
So this ordinance, ordinance 2024-1 was a repeal and replace of our existing fire code. And to coincide with that adoption and changes to that chapter, there is a new section being added into the building permit section 151.005 that addresses what kind of information needs to be submitted with an application for a building permit that involves different fire suppression systems. And so that's what this ordinance does, to add that new section in.
Okay, any other discussion before we move to... Okay.
Nope. I will move to place ordinance 2024-3 on its third reading by short title only. Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance 2024-3, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Decatur which amends Chapter 151, Section 151.005 of the Decatur Code of Ordinances of 2015 as supplemented.
I move to adopt ordinance 2024-3.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call.
Jenny Bauer Schultz.
Yes.
Tyler Fulenkamp.
Yes.
Scott Murray.
Yes.
Abby Wilder.
Yes.
That motion is adopted. Ordinance is adopted.
Oh, one of the ones that were just signed, sorry.
Did I sign it or do I sign it? Okay. Sorry. And while we're signing those, I think we're good to go ahead. Next, we have a resolution to transfer funds among the MVH and Park and Rec budgets.
So this is resolution 2024-2. It's a resolution to move some money within the budget of MVH and Parks and Rec. The insurance costs were a little higher than what was anticipated at budget time. So some funds need to be transferred within the budget of both MVH and Parks. So this is a resolution to authorize that.
So it's not new money, it's just money being moved within
Within the budget.
within that budget. Okay. Any other discussion? Not, Ann.
Kevin just kind of identified the nature of the resolution, so we would entertain a motion to introduce resolution number 2024-2 by short title only.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Resolution number 2024-2, a resolution authorizing the transfer of funds.
I move to adopt resolution 2024-2.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I need the roll call. Resolution.
Signed by the mayor and attested to by Kevin.
Okay. Great. Moving along. Chamber of Commerce annual dinner is coming. Historically, we have been in support of this great recognition the Chamber does. So I guess I would ask what did we do last year?
Last year was $350.
And that came out of which budget?
Council's budget.
I assume that was the ask again, or they leave it open-ended?
Open-ended, but they did mention what we gave last year.
So this is a donation to the event. Does it get us a table?
Does get us a table.
Okay.
The mayor would likely invite all of us council and guests to attend. It's one of the great event every year that the Chamber puts on in recognizing small business, large business, and the Stephen Decatur Award recipients. So,
I'll make a motion to donate $350 to the Chamber for the event.
Second.
motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Look forward to it. Next, we need to make a matter record that the city cash and investment statement was published.
Yeah, the annual financial report has been finished and is submitted, and we have to publish the cash and investment statement for the city. It just needs to be made a matter of record. This was published on February 28th.
I'll make a motion to make that a matter of record.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed. Next, I believe we'll go to department heads. Jeremy, anything to bring before us? Nothing tonight. Okay, Chief Gerber.
I would like to remind the public that when we use our medication drop-off box, we need to throw the pills out into the box, not just drop the bottle in, because then that clogs the box, and that creates a real safety concern for children. They would come by and medication bottles are just laying there. There's very large letters that give instructions, open the bottle, pour it goes in, as well as not pouring liquids. That also creates.
I'm guilty. I didn't read the box, and I just put the jar of pills in there, so thank you for the reminder.
I know, you already knew that.
But thank you.
But it is in seriousness, it is an issue because it's pretty routinely you have people coming in and I can't put something in this box.
It's clogged. Okay, good to know. Fire Chief Sheets. Okay. Kurt, anything else? Aaron? Bill? Carrie has something.
I do have something. All of the aeration equipment has been received, so we will be installing that as we get it all set.
Great.
Okay. Kevin, anything additionally? Ann, anything additionally? Council members, anything you'd like to bring up?
I think it might be a good idea for us to come up with some kind of policy or procedure for how we handle public comment and like presentations like this. Because there should either be on the agenda, they should have a certain amount of time they could speak. Like for example, this presentation, she can come in and give the presentation, but it shouldn't be an engagement of what we think should happen. That would be a public comment. She should have like 3 minutes to talk, no conversation, and then she can come back and talk to us if she wants to. So it might be something to consider, because you might find yourself in a bad situation if the wrong person grandstands. So just something to consider.
Yeah, that pitch likely would have been better done had it been brought to the attention of the mayor and asked to be put on the agenda with information provided in advance of the meeting so that council could...
And maybe it was, we just are unaware. But,
that's true, but it was not on anyone's agenda.
It was kind of unorthodox because she contacted, Kevin, she contacted you, she contacted the mayor, she contacted my department over a period of about 2 weeks. She called and talked with me last week, and I told her that was something I couldn't make a decision on. It would have to come in front of council. So I said, if you would like to be on the agenda for council, let me know and I will get you on. And she said, well, I have a meeting here in a few minutes to talk to certain personnel about this, and I will get back to you. I didn't hear another word from her until yesterday, and she was dealing with Lisa and through email, and next thing I know, she's here.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to throw anyone under the bus, but it just seems like it was kind of a surprise to
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, she was sitting there for, 15, 20 minutes, and kept asking me who it was, and I started looking, and I see that she's on GIS, and she's got a reddish drive pulled up. So I went and asked her who she was. So,
That said, we do want people to come to meetings when they have business, so I think it probably is a good idea to have more discussion as to how we want to handle it. So, good point.
Yeah.
Ladies?
I'll make a motion to pay the claims.
I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
And a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You're done. I can go walk the dog now.